It always comes to this. Hello there guys, here to do another tattoo progress update today. Where I last left off, I just showed off the 2 sessions I had on my neck. All the thorns and stuff I did all between the throat, the neck, and behind my ears. And then, of course, all the white we did on the roses again. So everything's looking much brighter than it was. And again, we'll need a second pass on the thorns and stuff and the new leaves we added. And then another session to do the white in between everything once Rick has more of the chest piece built up, which is what I'll be talking about today. We did the 4th session on the chest piece, and we used a whole bunch of colors again. Lots of colors we've never used before again, so as always in uncertain and unfamiliar terrain, which has become kind of the staple of what I'm doing with Rick now. The stuff I'm doing with Terry, though, in some ways looks a little more clear and a little more impressive. Rick and I have kind of moved into mostly color, and sure there will be some white as well, but everything we're doing now is unknown. So, for example, this here, when it was healing, I felt like it was vanishing last week, shortly after I made this video update about this piece. It started flaking, and I felt like we were going to lose most of it. There is this tooth here, didn't saturate super well, so when this is all healed, Rick and I are going to have to go back into that one. But again, these are all new colors. There's a lot of yellow used in with the white. So, and when this is fully healed, it may show through a little more. That tissue's a little bit traumatized still. It's got that kind of a glossy sheen to it. Skin looks pretty tight. Anyway, I thought all of this was going to be gone, and though it's not super vibrant, it is still there, and that's the most important thing. As long as the picture stays there, I'm good with it. So, to get into what we did this time, because it's pretty hard to see unless I get the right angle, there's all kinds of color in here. It's tough to see it, and some of this mixing with the black underneath, when it peels, it will come through a bit more. I don't know if you can tell, but this is about to start peeling. I can see it in the skin. The green is taking on kind of a darker tone to it. It went in bright, and it seems to be darker when it's healing. I don't know what it's going to turn into. He used some new tones again. It'll be interesting. I can already tell that there's going to be distinction there, but again, a lot of this is going to have to be done more than once. The blues and the oranges are seemingly the best so far. Particularly the blues, they seem to be really, really holding in there very well. Where the oranges, they're not as clear as they were. But again, as long as the picture is there, and it will be, it's foundation enough to continue and brighten later. So, again, looked super bright immediately after, but what happens is as it mixes with the color underneath, the black underneath, it does darken. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure when I'm showing this off next week, it'll be much the same, maybe a little brighter. But I was in for a long haul with this chest piece, and these things don't concern me that the color is dark, or some of the colors are darker than others, because all it is we have to try it in order to see whether it works. It's not like anyone out there that's ever done this before has shared any information. So we just have to learn as we go. I would say, mark my words, that within 6 months, this chest piece will be probably one of the crazier, weirder things that have been done in the tattoo world. And you're going to be seeing a lot more experimentation done with color on black in the years to come. Because unlike most people who've done this stuff before, I'm actually showing off the process and explaining it as it goes. There are a few people I know who have done some color on black before, some big color on black pieces, but there's never any explanation. There's never any footage of how or why or like where it all came from. Whereas with this channel, that's all it is. That's all it's based on, is me telling the story behind it and how it works, and whatever knowledge I've learned along the way, I'm sharing openly. I feel like there are some old school guys that have done this before that don't want those secrets out there. So I think it's good for the industry to share secrets. And if there was someone out there who had done all of this, hey, they had a channel and I could watch it and it could save me some time, you know? That's what would be nice, is if I could find the first Remy, like the guy who came before me who was doing this stuff, and oh, these blues work better, oh, these reds work better, these are the ones that work. Okay, that would have helped. That would have shaved a year off experimentation. That being said, I enjoy finding out as I go too, so I'm not hating that part. But this is the kind of thing that for a lot of people, if they seen that the colors weren't staying as vibrant as they went in, I feel like it would be enough to abandon ship. But for me, it's just, nope, that's going to have to be done twice, or we're going to have to get in there with a different shade. Because the day one photo, it was super bright. A lot of people think that ink dries or something, or that it actually colors our skin. So like, a lot of people might think that my skin is actually this dark black now. It actually isn't. My skin is still this color. This is underneath the skin, and it's not dry. It can always mix. Everything is always still mixing under the skin. So when you put a bright green or a medium, I think this is like more of a medium tone green under the skin, and there's already black ink under there, and God knows what other colors, red and whatever else, all of that stuff has to mix. And then it's impossible to tell what it's going to look like until after it's settled. So it really is just one of those wait and see it heal kind of thing. But as I said, the first color on black session we had on this chest piece, it gave me a lot of hope, and it was everything it needed to be for me, because we got the color to stay. We got a face in there. This piece was way darker than it would have been if it had been healed for 3 or 4 years. So if we can do this over this chest piece that we just blacked out in June, if we can get color to show up over it, it basically is proof that I can do more or less whatever I want with this bodysuit. Because I feel like, say I blacked out my back and then 6 months later I started working on it. It's going to be harder, but it's going to be doable, and that's what we're proving now. It doesn't even have to be super settled to get something there. So, yeah, no, I'm really happy with what's going on with the chest piece. And I think that this is the kind of thing that even a month from now, because like next week we're going to be doing the other side, and then we're going to come back over in here, and then we'll probably go back to this side, and we'll just keep working back and forth. Again, it takes a really long time to do this because there's so many colors in there. You can't really appreciate it just by how it looks here, just how many colors are used to do this work. So because of that, it takes a long time. Like, this looks like it was a small session, and it kind of was. It was about 2.5 hours, but it looks like less work than that. And that's because whenever you're doing full color work like this, and especially over black, it does take time to saturate it. It does take time to layer it in. But I think about 4 to 6 sessions more into this, and the fact that this is kind of dark and hard to see, it's not going to look as dark once we have more of this piece done. And that's another one of those you can take it to the bank things, because like having this part here illuminated other parts of it, and the more and more connected we get this, the brighter the whole picture is going to look, and the less like, what is that, it's going to be. So I don't know though. I don't know about this dark green. I think if we're going to do green, I think Rick might need to pivot. He might need to do a brighter green. He wanted to try some earthy tones and some bright tones this time. And so far, the best that's standing out to me is the blue and then the orange. And obviously the white will do its thing. All this also is going to look different once we get the darker blacks in there as well. So as we're doing the color, he's not doing the black yet. He's leaving spots for the black. Like there's a part on one of these tentacles that has a little mouth, and the center of that tentacle has to be done in black. And then there'll be more black around the outside and the inside and so on and so forth, and more white. And so things are going to be darkened and things are going to be brightened, and that will make the color pop out more. But anyone who's seen my stomach and sides develop over the last couple of years should probably already understand this process and know that it does take a long time, but the reward is going to be mind-blowing. And I still think that within the next few months I'll be working on my sleeves, and everything that we're learning doing my chest piece and everything that we learned doing my stomach and my sides, all of that is going to come in handy when we're laying out the sleeves eventually too. So anyway, to make a long story short, next week we're going to be doing the same thing on the other side. So probably similar color scheme. They won't be perfectly symmetrical. They're not going to be color coded side to side the same way. And the first chest piece was completely symmetrical, but this chest piece we're going for more of a flowing sort of organic like we did on the stomach. So don't be expecting too much symmetry. There's asymmetry even in the lines, so I would expect that that will carry on. But yeah, just give it a few weeks. If you're still doubting me, that's fine. I'm used to people doubting this process. Even when I seen it after I went home, it had already kind of darkened up a lot, and I thought, yeah, this is gonna be another one where some people are gonna be doubting the process. But you just gotta have faith. Old Remy will make it happen. I got a great tattoo artist I'm working with, and we got all the patience in the world for this work. So we'll get there. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this one, I'll talk to you again soon. Have a great day.